Hello and welcome back to the Betches podcast. I'm Jordana.
I'm Sami.
And Eileen is not available today. She's remote, so it's just the two of us.
She's booked and busy.
Yes.
But
thank you guys for listening. If you are listening and you prefer to watch us, Sami's wearing a really cool outfit today, which we'll get to later. You can watch us on YouTube at the Betches YouTube page. You guys can find it. I know our audience is very smart. They'll figure it out.
Very digitally savvy, digital natives. They will know how to get to the Betches YouTube, I think.
I think so too.
I think so too. Although I do hear we have some boomer women watching us. Like sometimes
I'll hear. Is it your mom and her friends?
Some of them, but also occasionally I'll get a DM from someone who's like, I'm way out of your age range.
Right.
But I love your show.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's so, I mean, I have always said I love going older. I'd rather go older than younger.
Me too.
Yes.
But what's going on? Are you marked safe from all the vermin this week?
Generally safe. Yeah. The nest, the bird in the nest is there all the time. Literally, because I see whenever I go out my mudroom door, I'll see her and then I'll open the door and she'll fly away to she'll fly to a nearby branch. I know and then she'll watch until I go back inside and then she'll go back to the nest. I haven't seen any baby birds, which is kind of what I'm looking out for though.
Have you named her?
No, I should.
Do you want to name her right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she's a robin. Someone on Instagram DM'd me that she's a robin.
Okay.
Maybe her name is Robin.
No,
too on the nose.
I was thinking Phoebe.
Why Phoebe?
Just came to my head.
Okay.
Phoebe the Robin.
I'll allow you to name
Phoebe the Robin.
So not Robin the Robin.
No.
Okay.
No, maybe if she has a baby, we could call it Robin the first.
I think she'd probably have multiple babies.
Okay,
right?
well, we're gonna name them all. I kind of
want to go get a ladder and see what's in there, but I also don't want to disturb anything, and I also don't want her to attack me for looking in the nest.
Maybe have Mike try because he's taller.
It's like the ceiling
too high
of the.
Well, he can see from further away, just by taking fewer steps up.
Right. Maybe I'll get one of those selfie sticks.
Remember
and
GoPro her. I have those. I have things you could use.
Okay. Maybe next time you'll bring me one.
So I'll bring Phoebe the Robin. We'll do a photo shoot for her. Can I be your godmother? Taylor Swift is Blake Lively's children's godmother.
For Phoebe the Robin's babies? Yeah. I mean,
no, for Phoebe. Can I be, or I guess, no.
Her godmother?
Phoebe's more Phoebe's more like your co-resident, not your daughter.
You want to be the godmother to her children?
I guess.
I mean, I don't know if there's a way for her to approve that, but
I was thinking more. Can I be Ronnie's godmother?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Totally. If Mike and I die, you get Ronnie.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't even.
I'm always looking for another dog.
Yeah, you have it on the record.
Right. You know, I'm always looking for another dog.
You'd want him.
I'm always pro new dogs.
All right.
Now do you see how hard it is to raise a dog?
You are Ronnie's godmother. I've just declared it. Is this his baptism?
Yes. Wait, do you now see how hard it is to have a dog?
I know how hard it is to have a puppy. Everyone says that it gets easier to have a dog.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's very hard to have a puppy. Wonderful, but also stressful.
Can you believe I was a single dog mom? Living alone.
I actually do think it's very hard to be a dog parent because I think about that a lot because right now he wakes up at all hours of the night and it's nice. I only have to wake up half the time that one needs to wake up for the dog because Mike is there to do it the other time.
Yeah, it's really tough to be a single dog mom in these conditions.
It is. Dog moms.
In this economy.
They do it all.
Yeah.
Oh, I have more vermin updates. This one's pretty disgusting.
Okay. Should this be our weekend in a headline? Is that your weekend?
Fine, yeah.
Okay. The vermin weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my other update is rats in the hot tub.
Ew.
Yeah, really disgusting.
Oh, that's really
So
gross.
they haven't fully opened it yet, but they're putting in the liner, but then they had to reorder a liner because it was the wrong size. So there's just water in it now. And then we were going to check the levels of the water and there were not one, not two, but three. I'm suspecting rats
alive.
No, of course not. They're dead. They're in the water. They're dead.
Just making sure they were.
So that's my vermin update. So I'm waiting for them to come back to deal with that because it's pretty disgusting.
You're definitely not marked safe from vermin this week.
Definitely not. The vermin just keep coming.
What's happening?
The hits keep coming.
It's like the plague. It's one of the plagues.
It's I guess it's plague. It's the suburbs. Plague? Yeah. What's your weekend headline?
Subvermin. My weekend in a headline is that suburban woman empties closet after Zepbound weight loss.
Okay.
What is this trend? Is this a trend?
You must have been pretty bored to be like doing the closet clean out, no?
Well, as we know, the weather was bad, so we canceled our gathering.
Yes.
Also, the pool.
Kind of nice. You get stuff done.
Yes, and also the pool heater broke, so it would have.
Well, it's kind of cold for.
It was fine, but anyway. If not, if it's heated.
That's true. Yeah.
But if it's not heated, okay. So my mother's been badgering me about this for a long time because it's overflowing.
Let's start at the beginning.
Disorganized, yes.
Let's start at the beginning. For those who don't know,
if they don't watch on YouTube to see the rapid weight loss every week.
I mean,
that's a reason to watch on YouTube. Subscribe now.
Yes, Sami keeps getting smaller and smaller. Well, that brings us to our discussion today. I want you to take me through everything that led you to this closet clean out.
Okay.
And for those who don't know anything about, or haven't listened to Diet Starts Tomorrow, or don't know anything about you in that sense.
Yes. Okay.
Bring us up to speed.
If people haven't listened to Diet Starts Tomorrow, I have had many weights in my life, many struggles with my eating, etc. And I went on Zepbound in January.
And that's like an Ozempic-esque.
It's basically Ozempic. There's different compounds, whatever. That's the one that, and I did that because, I wrote something on Substack about this, so like you can read the whole background if you haven't been caught up, but I did it because I had like issues with like my blood levels and
like an elevated blood sugar level.
Yes, but there were like a few things. I don't even remember exactly what they were now. But there was like a few things that my doctor was like, you should go on this. And I've been diagnosed with PCOS, so there were just like a bunch of. I gained a lot of weight from that, and basically I was insulin resistant. I would say that's like a easy way of putting it. So they said to go on this,
but not diabetic.
No, no. But could have been
pre-diabetic.
Maybe I don't. Or if I was, I don't know if I was like immediately because I went on metformin before, and that might have like I think I was pre-diabetic when I went on metformin.
Okay,
and that like helped a little bit.
That makes
and
sense.
Then this is like,
and I'm on metformin too for PCOS also.
The thing with these drugs are like they really regulate you in a way that like you didn't even know you were dysregulated.
Right.
And I think that that's like the number one lesson that I've gotten from all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So now because I've been every weight, I have like so many things of different sizes.
Very different
Everything in different sizes.
You're like Jessica Simpson.
Yeah. Is that, okay.
That's her. That's like sort of what she said.
Did she say that?
She said like, I've been every weight.
Yes. Yeah.
Is kind of what she said.
Literally like that. I didn't know she said that, but I'm going to listen to that.
I think she said that because like sort of like in a way, she has like her shoe company and her clothing company. And I think she was like, I kind of like understand what clothes people want because I've been at every weight.
Yes. Oh my, and this will actually bring me to like the whole closet thing of it all and why I'm wearing this blue suit all of a sudden.
Which is beautiful.
Thank you. We had this conversation this weekend because we went out to dinner and you were asking me like, I don't know what inspired you.
I was asking you a bunch of questions about what is the word for it? Like what do you call it? GLP-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like what you are referring to it as?
It doesn't even matter what you call it. That's like, because that category, that's the whole category. Whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Like,
those kinds of drugs. Yeah. I was asking a lot of questions about them. And I thought it'd be an interesting conversation to bring to the podcast because I think it's the kind of thing where I think a lot of people have a lot of questions, but no one wants to be offensive. Yeah. And no one wants to like ask a question that's out of bounds. So I figured I'll ask the question. Yeah. You tell me if it's offensive or out of bounds.
Well, what I
or because I'm your friend, it's probably less so. Like everything you've always wanted to ask, but felt like you were too worried to be offensive to ask.
Well, I'll be honest. Okay, so people do ask me things. Mm-hmm. When I had been on it for 2 months, that's why I wrote like a Substack with frequently asked questions because it's just easier to put it out there. I also don't find it offensive to ask, but I do see why. In some cases, it could be offensive to ask. Okay. There are definitely offensive ways to ask these questions. Okay. And people have like their own shit. Like this is one of those.
So have you gotten offensive questions?
Not that are like coming to mind, but I also don't get offended by because like I just don't.
You're not as sensitive about the topic.
I'm not as sensitive about it. No, because because I know that like most people just like have this like their own feelings about these things in their own head. People have their own like hangups about it.
You used to maybe have different feelings about it.
Yeah, totally. And it's just weight, bodies, all this shit is stuff people have like their own triggers around. It's a very sensitive topic. Okay. So I understand that people get offended.
I'm going to ask you every question I think someone who's following you on Instagram or just wondering about like what's going on would ask. And again, doesn't sound like you'll be offended. If you are offended,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Okay. Yes. I'm going to start with like, I guess the most obvious. How much weight have you lost?
So I don't actually know the numbers because I didn't weigh myself when I when I started.
Okay.
And I don't have a scale.
Okay.
So I don't know how much I weigh now.
Do you have a sense?
Yes, I have a sense, and I think it's probably around 50 pounds.
Wow. And how long? How long have you been on it?
Since January, first week of January.
So you're just getting a sense from like the clothing sizes and the way you feel.
Really, it's from the sizing because I got rid of like pretty much all my closet. It's actually, there's nothing in it. Like I have nothing to wear. That's how I ended up in this because I have no jeans and I ordered new things like in new sizes and I ordered them too big because I didn't really understand what my size was. Okay. And so this I ordered for us when we go to Ibiza to wear.
It's beautiful.
And but
it's very royal looking.
It's the only thing that fit me right now. It's literally the only thing.
This blue suit is all that fits me right now.
It's literally the only thing that I had in the order that I could wear here.
Okay, so you every week you get smaller and smaller. Is that what you're saying?
It's not like I have other things. Like what I wore the other night to dinner was
but you don't want to wear the same thing every day.
For my first honeymoon.
Wow.
Like the first planned honeymoon that got canceled before COVID.
Okay, so you're at your like wedding weight.
I'm like smaller than my weight. I'm like I was my like bachelorette party weight,
which is like your wedding aspirational weight, which essentially at the time.
But here's what's fucked up is that I was like, I need to lose 20 more pounds from here. Wow. At the time.
Are you at that weight?
I don't know, but I'm at that size of clothing.
Okay.
So yes, I'm just assuming yes. And also I used to work out more to achieve my weights than I do now. So I don't really I guess I play tennis, but I'm not doing I used to do Barry's and
do you feel healthier?
Solid core. I feel good. Yeah, I feel healthier. Yeah, I do. I guess
more
I feel
energized, I guess.
I feel the same, mostly energized.
Okay.
I don't feel a huge difference. I definitely feel I just feel more regulated. I can't explain it.
Okay.
But the easiest thing is that I can just go on a website and order clothing. So to what Jessica Simpson says is it's so true. I don't know if people realize how frustrating it is to not have things to wear. It's for me to for years have to try on 5 different things. Nothing really fits right. Because I don't know what size I am and I don't know what I have. Okay. And so now I'm basically trying to start over with just very few items that are that work.
And is the idea that there's a certain level at which you will stay? Or how does that work?
So I've been on for 5 months. I'm having a 6-month appointment next month or whatever. My thought is I'll go to them and see what they say about what I should be. Because my mom went to this doctor and at some point the doctor told her you shouldn't lose more weight. So it's not the kind of thing where I'm trying to just get smaller and smaller. When she says I'm
good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I mean? And then also because it's not just about weight and making you shrink, it does make you shrink because it curbs your appetite.
That's how it makes you shrink is by
That's not the only way. Okay. It also regulates your hormones in a way so that you're processing things differently. So it's it's not just that people who are overweight and get rid of this food noise. The noise comes from I think disordered eating. The hunger is real. Okay. But so it makes you less hungry. It stops your food noise. But I didn't really have that
both
much
of those things in combination.
No, and it's the chemical process in your body
of your metabolism.
Yes. Okay. It's fix it. Honestly, the way I see it is that it
gets it from all angles.
Fixes metabolic problems. Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, I'll give you an example. The other night we went out and I was full the next day for the whole day.
Oh wow.
And because it slows down what's called gastric emptying. Great dinner. I mean, it was delicious, but I felt until the next night, I was pretty full.
Right. And there was no urge to eat just because you were eating is fun.
Well, no, I do sometimes just eat because eating is fun. I do, I still eat because eating is fun. And I also know that I should.
So were you eating the next day even though you were full?
I had an apple. I had an apple because I was okay, I just feel like eating something.
Right.
It's not it makes you, it's not like Adderall, or at least not for me, where it's I can't eat. You know what I mean?
Has it messed with your sense of looking at diet culture overall, almost in a way of just I can see how messed in terms of all right, how do I place myself within this culture? How do I place this drug within the context of the larger problem as a whole? What do you? How does it? Okay. I don't know.
Because I was heavier, and I had really worked to like decouple my feelings about myself from my feelings about my body and like what it objectively looked like, I was able to like reduce my own food noise and really kind of get rid of like the disordered eating thoughts that like consume your day.
Of like, and must eat less.
Or like must eat less, or like you look bad, or like just, and again, like people talk about body positivity. Like you don't have to like, I don't believe in this, like love your body, because it's just, I just think that's kind of like a ridiculous expectation to like ask someone to transform themselves in such a way. But I do think you can sort of feel like this is not what I'm judging myself based on. Like this isn't that important. And like you can minimize it in like, I just minimized it basically. And that's like why I think body neutrality is better. And that's what I'm still aiming for, where it's like, I'm no better now because I'm thinner. Yes, my life is easier because I can just wear stuff.
Right.
But that's not a me thing. That's like a society thing. Like that's about what's available to the public. And like, so I think there are other things in this piece where it's like a while ago when like all these celebrities were like going on it and whatever, I think people want to hide it because there's like a really strong sense of morality tied up in weight.
Yeah.
Like if you're thin, you're good, you're pretty, you're trustworthy. It's like if you're rich, you're smart. You know what I mean? Like that's not like that uncommon. I think that people wanted to hide it because if they admitted that they're like using this thing,
or it seems like you're cheating.
Exactly. But why is it cheating? What are you cheating?
Right, because like other people work hard through diet and exercise.
But so do people who are overweight, because honestly, if you think about like 95% of diets fail or something, and when you look at people who are like, who have eating, just a lot of obese people have anorexia, but you don't see it. But being obese makes it worse and worse because like every time you diet and you like go up and down in weight, like you're fucking your metabolism up. Like I think I screwed myself up, like metabolically. Like I actually think that if I had just like, after my first like time when I lost weight when I was a child, if I just like stayed that weight because I didn't like focus on like the binge, the up, the down.
You're saying it's more nurture than nature. Like you're not meant to be, you were meant to be closer to the weight you are now.
I think so. And I think part of it is that like, this is the weight that I would like try so fucking hard to get to. And it's just like, oh, I just got to it this way. Also, like if you look at like my brother who did not have disordered eating. Like this, he had a figure like what I look like now. You know what I mean? Like in sort of height and like size and build. And even when I was like losing weight, it was like kind of, this was like a weight I could get to. You know? Also, when I used to like diet, I would like look in the mirror and be like, first of all, I'd look in the mirror constantly and be like, are you losing weight? Are you like, any reflective surface? Like I would, when a video would come out on the podcast, I would like stare at every frame to like study my jowls. And like now I don't give a fuck. Like it's gonna, and even when like I was like heavier 6 months ago, it was just like, okay, that's what I look like. And I'm gonna just like keep doing it. Even now I'm trying hard not to validate myself or like revel in the thinness. Because I'm not better now because of it. Even if people might treat you better. And even if it is easier to get dressed, which again, I don't know if I can like emphasize how difficult, how much friction that adds to like going out.
It just makes your day-to-day life more difficult.
Very difficult. And especially when I had just every size, I just never knew what to do. But to the morality piece, I think people hide it because they feel like they will get critiqued if they took a shortcut or cheated.
Well, do you think that about people who have done that, who don't have levels that are all over the place, or who don't quote unquote need it?
I don't care. Like,
but I'm saying, like, do you think there's a difference between someone like you who like had a medical need for it and someone who would just like to lose 15
like a
pounds?
Difference in what? Like
in the way you see them?
No, I literally don't care.
That?
No, I don't see a morality around. I don't. I think that morality needs to be removed. From this discussion. Like people, like bodies are naturally so different and react so differently, and I think the story is not really told by what you're looking at on the outside ever. Someone who just wants to take it so they can drop 15 pounds even though they're like very thin, that's a diet culture thing. They don't think they can't see themselves maybe clearly, or they think that like they need to be thinner because they want to be a size 0 rather than 4. Like that's them getting caught up in diet culture. They're not less caught up in it just because they're smaller, you know?
do you judge it more because of that? Did you like just as a commentary on diet culture?
No, I feel badly that people like have to think about this. Like in my ideal situation, it's like, okay, if your doctor tells you need this drug because of whatever health reason you need it for, like, okay, you just take it and there's like shouldn't be drama around it. It's like around same thing with like SSRIs or honestly, like it's like if someone had any other health issue and they were told to take a medicine, they would take it. I think it's amazing that science has discovered this metabolic balancing act that like has, and again, I don't think people realize like, it's not just an eating disorder, what you look like. It leads to other issues with your heart. It's it's hard on your body to be yo-yoing in weight like this. Yeah. So it's not just that someone's obese or or overweight. It's like the strain on your body from starving and
for sure.
That's what makes you retain the weight.
Right. Well, I'm saying, do you dislike it just in the sense of like being anti-diet culture as something where it's like, it's sort of reinforcing this idea of like, there's no excuse not to be this size. And again, these aren't things that I believe. I'm just sort of I'm throwing out like various things people might think.
I really think that it's like the looking at each other's bodies should just be not that important, and people should not think about themselves as good or bad or this or anything because of their, like, I just think that judgment should kind of be decoupled from the size. And one thing I actually wish is with like people saying the hiding of it, the hiding of taking it or the denying of taking it. I think that although I obviously think that people, they have their right to privacy, but I just think that when people who, especially with platforms based around their size, do lie or not share, especially when they're asked, I think what that does is that reinforces the morality around it. Right. And I don't judge people for not wanting to share. Again, it's like, this is a triggering topic, but I think that part of the reason people don't share is because they feel like people will judge. And that's why I actually do want to share. Because it is unnatural to me not to share. Right. And then it occurred to me now that if I had even attempted to share, it would have been extremely, to hide it or deny it. It would have been extremely obvious. Right. I didn't even like think of that before, but like, obviously.
Okay. So more questions on the personal front. Like, do you feel like you're going to take it for the rest of your life?
I don't know. I know some people will do like a smaller dose with bigger intervals to like kind of just maintain the metabolic effects without losing weight. Right.
You're just going to do whatever your doctor recommends?
Probably, yeah. Right. I mean, and if I feel good about that, like, I'm going to see. It's really only been 6 months, barely. So I'm just going to see, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my other question is like, okay, let's say there was a drug that would regulate all these hormones that you have these hormones that are out of whack. Let's say there was a drug that would regulate the hormones but not affect your weight. Would you prefer that? Or would you take that instead?
Well, I mean, I would, but I don't think that, I think the thing is that you can't separate them. Like,
I'm saying if you could, hypothetically.
Sure. Yeah.
It would, because so you're saying it doesn't matter to you like at all. Like you're not enjoying, like I guess you're saying enjoying the positive effects of being
if I could
smaller because of the clothing that your situation you're saying.
Honestly, like even when I was like, so I would say like a size 12 is like the real like top size that you're like sure you could get in pretty much any brand. When I was like there, I was like, oh, this is great.
Well, what size were you at your biggest and what size are you now?
I was like probably an 18.
Okay.
I'm like an 8.
Okay.
Which I think is 50 pounds. But also sizing is so weird, which is why I have so many different things. And it's like, I can never trust anything. Yeah. But also I wonder if I sometimes can't see myself because like my mom was like, you are a size, for weeks, she's like, you're a size 8. Don't order like a size 30 in jeans. Right. And then I did, and that's how I'm wearing this.
Well, why do you want to, if you're not sure. Because
I didn't believe.
But also like, I guess my question is like, if you're not sure, like, what the like bottom weight is, why are you ordering anything yet? Maybe you'll be like,
because you can have things adjusted.
True.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, oh, I'll just have this all adjusted.
Right. If this isn't like
right, but then I was
bottom
like,
level of your size.
But it's like I also like there's something about it like doesn't get through to me. Like I brought all these like extra large or just extra large things on vacation and thinking like that I could wear them. Like, oh, I could just like pull them tighter. Like, I don't know. I just like don't. Right. Yeah. It's like I'm so delusional from like a lifetime of delusional shopping.
Right. Well, you're also not like buying the smaller size as an aspirational thing to be like, oh, like I'll be able to get in it soon.
Yeah. No,
Right.
but I used to do that.
Right.
No, but if I stay this weight, great. If I, I don't know.
It's not
If
that
the
that's
doctor
not that
says
important
like
to you.
you're if at
The doctor was like, I recommend you get off. You'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
get off.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I have a feeling that because like it's like my metabolism is a particular way. I have a feeling that it's the kind of thing where maybe I would be on like a very small dose for a longer term, but like you take it every week. But some people I know do like 10 days or every 2 weeks.
Got it.
So it's like you could keep the effects of it without the weight loss.
Okay.
Because I'm on the second smallest dose.
And is eating less fun?
Eating has been less fun for
a while
before
that. Okay.
Before this. But yeah, it sucks. But
Do you
also
still like get excited to go to a restaurant?
Yes, but not for the food. Like I used to get excited to be like, oh my God, like what am I going to eat? I have to save my calories all day. Oh my God, like how many calories is this thing? Oh my God, like how many should I have? Like should I only have 2? Like this thing is probably 150 calories. I should go fit 3. It's 300 calories. Like that's going through my head.
Okay.
Since
now you're excited just about going out.
I don't even think about the other thing.
Okay.
But the thing is like in the past, I would have like had all that shit and like the going out was just like incidental.
It would be more of like an emotional roller coaster. Like
well, it's like
dating a guy who's not into you.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been like I would have been thinking about the food and the calories, whether I was home, whether I was out, whether I was on the moon. Like that's what I would have been thinking of. Like I'd be at like an amazing vacation and I'm thinking about the calories.
This drug for
dating. Yeah, it would help sex addicts and limerence
and love and love addicts.
Yeah, I know they really should. No, it's like
it's like a potion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and spending it. Although honestly, people have said that this does sort of work on that
impulsive
stuff.
Behaviors.
Curb all impulsive behaviors. I haven't had any of my personal impulsive behaviors curbed, so no.
Okay,
but
not for you.
No, not yet. Maybe I need a higher dose to curb those behaviors, but I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do they weigh you when they adjust your?
Yeah, I just haven't. Yeah, I
you just don't
been.
Look.
No, I know what I weighed. Like 2 months before going on it because I went to my physical.
Okay, so you do know.
I know like the ballpark.
So you do have a sense of.
I have a ballpark, but I don't know like the day that I like went. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
okay,
yeah,
but you have some range of.
I have some range, but I also know the size. So it's like I don't have a scale. I would weigh myself if I had a scale literally anywhere near me. Like I could come to your house and weigh myself.
Okay, so you're not.
No, I'm not looking. I just don't. I haven't been somewhere.
You are seeking out that number.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also, the thing is the number's sort of like a lie. It's like you could be within 5 pounds on any given day within the same day because But when I invested so much in that, like I took it so
trying to control
literally
all of that, yeah.
So it's like even the day I know my physical weight, that could have been plus or minus 5.
Right.
So that's why I say I don't really know.
Right. You don't know the true number.
Yeah.
All right. This was very, very interesting. Thank you for being so open.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that like I haven't asked that you feel like would be interesting for people to know or you've gotten asked before? That's
people ask about drinking. Like, do you not want to drink anymore?
Yeah.
I feel, I was always kind of like, I guess, okay.
You're usually more into
weed.
Like weed than
I'm still
drinking.
See, it hasn't curbed that impulse.
So you still smoke the same amount?
I guess. Okay. I haven't. It's not like, I'm like, I don't want to smoke.
Okay. And then the drinking.
The drinking is also kind of the same, but it's more like I was never like, I drink so much.
Right.
Like I only ever drank socially.
Yeah.
And so I'm never still drinking.
Right.
I would say maybe like, okay, let's say we were still drinking like we drank on bachelorette parties where like, I think.
Binge drinking. Yeah.
Binge drinking.
Sure.
Let's say we were still binge drinking. I think that I wouldn't have continued to do it as intensely because I just think after some point you're just like,
you're more like in tune with like how it's actually affecting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Huh. I wonder if it will, you think it would help people with like alcohol addictions in that way?
Again, it's like it's way more that you can't separate the weight loss from the metabolic
more of a complex, nuanced thing.
It's like doing something to your chemicals. I don't know what, but it's work. I think it just gives you a better, more.
Just eats up all your carbs.
It does. It does literally, but I think it keeps you at like a certain regulated homeostasis that maybe if you have some of these other hormonal issues, it's not just PCOS, Hashimoto, anything, diabetes, like you're kind of moving in spikes. So that's kind of what I think, why I think it works. It helps you just be like level. And then when you're level for a long time, this is something I learned also when losing weight. It's like once you start losing weight, it just kind of like goes.
Right. Or at least on this.
When I used to like try to not eat.
Okay.
Like it would like after a certain point, it just like, I don't know.
Let's say this drug came out when we were
13,
26.
Okay.
24, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you hadn't done that work before. Do you think you would be on it? And do you think if you were on it, you would hide it? Or like, what do you think? Do you think you would like try to find a way to get it?
I would 1,000% try to find a way to get it. I don't think I would hide it.
Okay.
I'm not like a very private person.
Yeah, you wear your
I'm
heart
pretty
on your sleeve,
unguarded,
as you say.
Yes. I think I'm like pretty unguarded.
Okay.
So I don't like it.
You think you would have been on it for like, regardless of the hormones, but you think you would have still told.
I wouldn't have even understood these like hormonal impacts. I would have just thought it was calories in, calories out. This will help me take less calories in.
Right.
And I would have been on it 100%. I don't think I would have hit it because I don't know. There's just something in my brain that's like, I don't get hiding it.
Right.
I get that other people might like feel like I get that others do feel differently, but it's just my brain doesn't have any instinct to hide it.
Okay.
But what I also think is if I hadn't done any like work, quote unquote, I just would have like tried to keep staying on it. And if I ever went off of it, I don't know, like maybe
it'd be much more like emotional reaction to going on and going off.
Yes. I don't think I would like look at it as the medical tool that I look at it as. And I still would have like all the fat phobia. Like, I mean, fat phobia is like a.
So you think it's almost a good thing that it came out after you've already dealt with that?
I mean, it was out before. It's more just like, I'm glad that I didn't seek it until like I had a reason for it, until I like come to terms with these other things and.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was great.
Love it.
Great conversation. Thanks for sharing.
You're
and
welcome.
if people have more questions, can they like DM
leave it
you?
in the comments?
Or leave it in the comments.
Or DM if it's personal, because I know not everyone wants their name on that. Yeah, either leave it in the comments or DM me.
Yeah.
And
I think
if
it's
you
great
want
that you're so open.
Thank you. Yeah. And if you want more info, I wrote a whole Substack about it when I guess back in March when I wrote for 2 months.
Yes.
So, and that has if there are
you
questions
do an update
we didn't
one.
answer here. Well, why don't we
maybe
just post
if people DM you questions, even maybe you don't have time to answer all of them, but maybe you'll do an update where you address a lot of the themes of the questions that you get.
Also, I think this answered like a lot of the questions that people.
Okay. Was I offensive?
I don't think so. Was she offensive? I don't get offended.
Okay.
This skin is so thick.
A lot of the questions that I was asking are not necessarily like beliefs that I have, but they were like
no, they're natural questions.
Thoughts that I was wondering if you had thoughts on.
Yeah, no. My one thing is that I just think, even though it's like an amazing miracle drug, I think that I wish people would like take the right lesson from it, which is that like your weight is not as attached to like your morality and how hard you work, rather than like you're thinner, you're better, therefore everyone should just take it and be this better, and now you have no,
Right. No, I agree with that. Yeah. Our last segment is All the Rage, brought to you by Angry Orchard Hard Cider. Because life's too short to bottle things up when there are far more entertaining things to obsess over. We're breaking down some of the pop culture moments that have us spiraling this week, but in the best way. So crack open a crisp, refreshing Angry Orchard and let's get into it.
Let's talk about Sirens.
Yes, let's talk about Sirens. I felt like you would love it when I saw it. It's also filmed
like right near my house.
I don't know. I wasn't sure if you wanted to say that because of like.
I mean, it's whatever. It's filmed near. It's filmed near both. It's filmed in our school district.
Yes,
that our children don't go to. Yes. Yes, it is filmed in our school district at a public place. Anyone could go. It's at Palmset National Park. Saving you the Google. And it's gorgeous, which I didn't know until after.
I didn't know that either until I found out like the same night you did. What did you think of the show?
So, okay, I was so excited for this because
did you finish it?
Yes.
Okay.
In one night. I was so excited for it because I was like, this is so up my alley, like you said. Was just very, very, very into it. But I think that I expected something different. Like I went in thinking it was going to be entirely different than it was. And so because it was only 5 episodes, by the time we got to episode 4, it took me until episode 4 to realize that it was something different than what I was expecting. And so I had to sort of like reinterpret it. And also it's like a Netflix show. So I was kind of on my phone and, you know, now I had to like re-look at it. And I don't know, now I might rewatch it knowing that and look for some neighborhood spots.
I was like a little confused at the end.
Yeah.
I guess I was confused because like, okay, spoiler alert, spoilers.
Yeah.
Are they sirens? Like, is there magic in the show or is it a non-magical show and people are just acting weird? Like,
okay, I'm not crazy. I didn't miss something.
Okay.
Great. I didn't miss something. Good. Because that's the part that confused me too. I thought, I was like, is this like magic? Like, what's this surrealism? Is it supposed to be magic? What does the sirens mean?
Right.
Is Julianne Moore the siren?
But also,
they're all
or
sirens?
is the
They're all connected?
What's her Simone? Is Simone the siren?
She seems like she's the siren.
But also it seems like Julianne Moore's the siren because she was like the dad was falling in love with her.
And the sisters texted each other, sirens, sirens.
Yes.
That was like the whole...
It was like very unclear who the sirens were, what magical powers they had.
Right. Did they have magical powers?
I don't really feel like it was tied up. It was very confusing.
Was her licking him, the guy at the end, a siren thing?
It almost seemed like she was like casting spells when she told the guy like she wanted him to be out of her life, and then he like there were a lot of people, they kind of like, a big theme of the show was like people you think have died but they're not dead, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And what was the like, hey, was it a cult?
The
like,
hey,
it's
hey
not
thing,
a cult.
yeah.
It's just like these women who think Julianne Moore's rich and cool.
It was a lot of undeveloped subplots in my mind.
Right. Something like it needed to either be like full real or full fantasy.
Right.
Or just clearer on which it was. But regardless, I enjoyed the 5 hours I spent watching it anyway.
Yes, it was very entertaining.
Right.
No regrets.
Here's the thing. It's like, by the end, I didn't care because it had accomplished the goal, which was I enjoyed myself while watching it. Right. So I was like, all right. And now I'm enjoying this conversation. And the fact that I feel validated because everyone I talk about this with has the same questions as me.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely the same.
But everyone liked it.
And also, like, I don't know, Kevin Bacon then winds up with the younger woman at the end, but just like the same day he asks for his wife for a divorce. And like I'm saying, did she put a spell on him, but then did she lose her power because she had also did Julianne Moore originally put a spell on Kevin Bacon to get him in the first place, and then the spell was broken? I was like very unclear.
There was no actual like thing about spells
said out loud.
No,
yes.
are just meant to assume.
But like there was something with like the way they were looking at each other.
Right. But
and
also,
then like the boyfriend was suddenly like upset, like proposing.
Yeah. And why would Julianne Moore? Don't you think she would have known better than to leave the marital home like that in the middle of the gala?
Yeah, it does something.
Doesn't track.
Of it was like a lot of it was not the most realistic. But yeah, I just felt like maybe like if someone like looked at the footage at the end, like wouldn't some person in the room be like, I think we need to tie a few things up?
Right. Just explain it up front.
Right.
Even.
Yeah. And like,
was Julianne Moore playing Nicole Kidman?
I think, or is Nicole Kidman play Julianne Moore? I feel like they are. Do you think they have like an unspoken rivalry, or do you think because it does feel like every role of like beautiful, powerful, older, rich woman goes to one of the two of them.
Redheaded.
Is Nicole Kidman have red hair? I consider her blonde.
I guess I associate her with being redhead. I associate her with being red.
Is there anyone else that gets cast for these?
Not
it's really just like the two of them.
No, not like that type of woman.
Right. They have the market cornered.
Yeah.
On older, hot,
are they
rich
the same
woman.
person? Are we sure that have you ever
that
seen them?
Have I ever seen them together?
Same place at the same time.
Maybe
that's the scam.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, but I still liked it. And also it was visually pleasing, and that's all I ever care about.
Yeah. It was definitely, it was interesting. They had like the staff kind of involved.
Right. But it didn't.
It didn't also make any sense.
Nothing really made sense. Why was Simone like so upset? Why were they so obsessed with each other?
Right. Why did she drop? She was like, she dropped out of school to like get her out of foster care or something.
That made sense.
Ish.
That actually made sense.
Right. And then they went really, really dark with like the mom tried to kill her. Mom killed herself and tried to also kill her. But then like it was never spoken about really again.
But also Julianne Moore had like weird stuff too. Were they sisters?
Who?
All of them?
I don't know. And then there was like, but then it was also felt like there was like the extra woman, like the three other women who were in the car and like going everywhere, were they also sirens?
That's right. Where's the,
because they were
what
all
was
saying
their
that they were like
purpose?
poor before they met their husbands.
Right. What was their?
It was like, is it a place where poor women can come? But then
To be
Julianne
rich?
Moore was like a lawyer before, so that didn't make sense.
That's why I'm saying she would have never left the marital home, yet she just goodbye.
yes. And
That
then
doesn't make any
Simone lies about everything except for that she actually went to Yale.
No one checked the script.
But then they also kept panning to like the statues of sirens.
What?
I was
this
just so
about?
confused. They kept panning to the statues of sirens, like as the openers and the closers, and it was like they were playing the weird magical music while they were panning to the statues.
But you know what? No one cared because it worked.
It's based on a play. Did the play make sense? An Italian opera?
play?
I could see this being an opera because I feel like operas are a little bit more about like the music and less about the plot.
We have to wait for Eileen to get back to tell us.
Oh, yeah,
about
she's
the
more of
opera.
an opera
She's
girl.
more of an opera girl. Yeah.
Okay. Should we rate it? Okay. How many vermin does it get? Is more vermin better?
How many vermin up?
Is more vermin better or worse?
Worse.
Okay, so how many
No.
vermin? How many vermin does it? 5 is the worst it could be. The most vermin.
So it's like a negative rating scale.
yes.
Okay.
1 vermin is the best. No, 0 vermin is the best.
Okay. I'm gonna give it 1 vermin because it was
That's like really good rating for all the shit we've just
no
talked
anything
about it.
that's good gets 0 vermin for me.
So you're saying 1 vermin?
I enjoyed watching it.
I was gonna give it 3.5 vermin.
I have to hate something to give it 3.5 vermin.
Maybe I'm just a harsher critic. Than
You
you are
are.
more prone to liking things than not liking things.
I enjoyed my time watching it, and that's all that matters.
Even though
doesn't
it
need to
made
be-
no, but it's more to me.
I
It's
don't
like
care. It's over,
To me,
and
it's
I
like
enjoyed it.
Half of it is like, did I enjoy it while I watched it, and then half of it is like, how do I feel when it's done?
Well, I don't care
Do you
how
ever
I
think
feel
about
when
that?
it's done.
You know what I mean?
Yes, but most of the time, I don't feel anything when it's done unless something's amazing. So it's either like, if it's bad, I just don't really think about it. And if it's
So you're
medium,
giving
I don't
this-
think about it.
You're giving this 1 less star than like White Lotus.
No, everything that's
Or
good.
1
it's not,
more
I don't,
star than White Lotus.
This is how you have to think about it. There's not an even amount of space between 0 and 1 vermin.
but that's the whole
Which
point
is
of a
how
rating
life is.
system.
No, not all rating systems are the
So you're
same.
even half a vermin.
No, 0 to 1 vermin is like it's like only really bad things get vermin. And then it's like, how bad are they? They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vermin. If it's 0, something that gets because think
Okay,
about it
so
in
there
life.
could be
Think about it in
there could
life.
be a lot of things that are very good.
Yes, think about it in life. 0 vermin. There's a huge space between 0 vermin and 1 vermin, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
But like, I guess marginal difference between 1 and 2 vermin.
not
Right.
big. Right. You got it.
If there's 1 rat in the hot tub, there might as well be
That's
3.
what I'm saying. So that's why I'm giving it 1 vermin.
All right, I'm still giving it 3.
Okay.
I knocked off
What does
half
something
for that
bad
scale.
get? What is like the worst thing you've ever watched get?
5 vermin. We're like 2 professors who have different curves.
It's like 2 Talmudic scholars. So that's all the rage. Thanks again to Angry Orchard for reminding us that it is all about balance. Sometimes life gets overwhelming, but taking a moment to enjoy the things we love makes all the difference. There's always room for a little indulgence.
I didn't, but I would like some this weekend. You know, I'm waiting for
I
like
did.
the sun to come out to like fully grasp my Angry Orchard. What about you?
Well, as Annie says, the sun will come out tomorrow.
Indeed.
So you should have an Angry Orchard tomorrow. I'll be checking. I did have an Angry Orchard last weekend, despite the chill in the air.
It's Angry Orchard season. Every season is Angry Orchard season. It's so good.
It's so good. Don't get angry, get Orchard. Learn more and find a hard cider near you at angryorchard.com/locations. Follow Angry Orchard on Instagram at Angry Orchard. Think about your favorite movie
Okay.
and think about a movie that gets 0 vermin.
Okay.
What's the distinguishing between them? They both get 0 vermin.
Yeah. Okay, fine. But like then I think like you can be different levels of bad.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 vermin bad.
You think it's way worse than I thought.
I guess so.
Something that's 3 vermin bad for me is like, what did I hate? See, I don't think about things I hate. I hate them.
You don't like scary movies.
But it's not that I don't like them, I don't watch them.
Right. I don't know. You don't hate many things.
And I don't
That's why
watch
it's so
things.
tough to have a conversation with you.
I don't watch things that I hate is actually what it is. You know, that's
Right.
the difference.
Yeah, I'll finish something that I
I
kinda
don't.
hate.
I'm just goodbye. But like anything good gets 0 vermin because that's optimal.
Okay, that's in your
Your rating
in the
scale makes
Sami
no
rating
sense.
scale.
Your
If I
rating
were a
scale-
student, I would sign up for your class.
I look. All you have to do is not have any. You just have to be decent.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I would sign up for my class too.
I wouldn't sign up for mine.
I'm so nice.
Okay.
Because I'm Canadian. Half.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, but like you
That's
weren't
why I'm so
born
nice.
there.
Doesn't matter. I'm half Canadian.
Yeah.
So I'm very nice.
Okay.
You don't think I'm nice?
No, you're nice.
Thank you.
Most of the time.
Your voice went up at the end.
Most of the time. You're nice.
I think I am.
Yeah. Compared to what, right? It's all relative.
Compared to you. I'm kidding.
Depends.
Okay, I'm 1 vermin nice. You're 4 vermin nice.
No.
3?
I think I'm not. I don't.
3 vermin nice?
You think I'm 4 vermin nice? That makes me a complete monster.
No, it doesn't.
Like how many? Okay, so you're calling me 4 vermin nice. Then who's 5? Like Harvey Weinstein?
No, okay, no, fine. I'm 1 vermin nice. You're 2 vermin nice.
Okay, fine. I'll take that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Just that you can't put me on the end of the
Sorry.
scale. There are real monsters out there.
I misspoke.
Oh my
You're
God.
right. You're right. I misspoke with my own scale. You're 2 vermin nice, and I'm 1 vermin nice.
Thank you. All right. Well,
No,
you guys can sound off in the Spotify comments if you how many vermin you think that nice you think we are. I don't know how we got here. But I think we did it.
So look, I guess let us know how nice you are on a vermin scale, how nice you think we are on a vermin scale. Yeah, this is so savory.
Indeed.
Well,
that's it for us. We'll be back next week on the Betches podcast. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. And that's it.
Goodbye.